Judas says, "Evening, ladies." Grabs Oliver under the armpit with one hand and the wrist with the other, and judo throws him into the rift. Oh, god damn it. The dice gods are not with you today.
I'm gonna look Judas in the eye, like completely deadpan, as I knew he was gonna do this. Like, I don't even resist. I just lip noodle. I just look him in the eyes as I'm flying into the portal, and I'm like, "You're a fucking piece of shit."
The last thing you hear is, "I know." And then static. There's a thump that shudders the whole building. Oliver, get back to you in a second. John and Betsy, what do you do having seen this just happen?
Does he disappear into the crack, or is this more like a spaghettification?
Disappears through the crack as if it were a window. In fact, there is a bit of perspective there as he goes through the portal. It's not like he hits a wall of static and then vanishes through it. It's like he went into another place and then went out of sight.
Okay. May I use my camera to peer through, see what's on the other side?
Yes, you have that rote.
So that not only do I get the picture of what's over there, but I can hear, using correspondence to hear what's over there?
Yeah, with an extra success, I'll allow it. It is vulgar with witnesses.
But they all know magic's real.
At least one of them knows absolutely no magic, not even linear magic. Is not a hedge witch, a sorcerer, a ghoul, anything.
Okay, fair enough.
One of them, the one looking dumbfounded at the whole thing, in her skimpy green dress, just goggling at this whole thing. Yeah, no, that's a sleeper.
That's fine.
1 point. So yeah, with that paradox, you look through your viewfinder. This is a photography camera, as we've established, and it's not a video camera. It doesn't have a speaker in it. Yes, it'll be vulgar magic when you manage it, but what are you doing, tools-wise? What are you doing to justify the fact that it can now emit sound?
There's not any sound going onto the film or anything. That's just still a camera. But I'm using what I'm seeing through the lens to visualize what's on the other side. I'm just so good at understanding what's over there that my best guess about what I'm hearing will happen to be true.
Wonderful. Yeah, by reading lips and throwing in your little X-ray filter over the top of your lens, dialing it in just right so it only sees past the stuff you want to see past.
She's trying to picture what's on the other side of this crack, just a general area. I don't know what's in it.
Good news, bad news. Bad news is that when you do the zoom in, you'll turn the little lens to zoom it in to give yourself a new point of reference. But once you zoom in through the portal, it turns to static. You zoom back out and it's fine as long as the point of view that you're looking from is from the outside, but that point of view can't be focused inside the crack.
I understand and accept that limitation, but I'll still look through the crack into wherever. I don't know how to describe Oliver yet.
You suspect that you'd need to know some dimensional sciences to create a lens that could do that. You get your point of view up close and look around. John, what are you doing?
Not shaking Jude, but grabbing him by the shoulders and demanding to know what the fuck just happened.
He does not so much as acknowledge your presence. He is looking into the portal. You try to shake him, and even if you manage to, he doesn't pay any attention. He is peering intently through the gap in reality that's now maybe 6 feet wide. Betsy, you can see movement in the static. John, you see several distinct shapes in the static.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 3?
Like one of those magic eye posters?
Yeah. Only they're moving, so it makes it a little easier. Either of you doing anything after that? Or just staring dumbstruck for at least another minute?
I don't think I'm strong enough to push Jude into the thing, because that's what I really want to do.
You are, in your own words,
a very dumping man.
Yes. You have a feeling that if you tried it, he would probably just keep you in there as well. That looked like some martial arts shit.
What was the thing? Never follow someone into the portal or always follow someone into the portal? I can't remember which one it is.
Never follow the stranger to a secondary location.
This will be a tertiary.
Oliver, you were yeeted through the portal into yellow gold static. There's a ground that feels like static looks like. It feels prickly and electric-y at the same time, but it supports your weight. There are shapes out in the static that seems to thicken as you look through it. You don't have any idea what your visibility distance is. You can't see the ground beneath you, but you can see your feet. What does Oliver do?
Reach down and touch it?
It feels prickly, staticky, like a violet wand, but with texture. As if the entire surface is somewhere between a violet wand and a plasma ball.
Can I say something?
As you open your mouth, you feel a strange silence. And then you notice that there was some background static sound, but it cuts out the moment the F starts. And the sound resumes again after the K ends. You noticed a black bar appear over your mouth for the entirety of the syllable.
Censored.
That, too, causes silence and censor bar. The figures out in the static begin to grow closer. There are 3 of them, looking almost like a signal bar image. Just one of them's really short, one of them is of middling short height, and the other one's about average size. As they approach, their features become clearer. It's almost like sparks raining down from the sky, the static between you. The smallest one raises a paw. A little censor bar appears over its mouth. Anytime that you try to speak, silence emerges, as well as the censor bar. The middling height one waves and looks familiar. The taller one does not look familiar, but looks pallid at best, corpse-like at worst. Theseus, Charles, Dick, and Ollie are all in the same room, but none of them can speak. How does that play out, Dizzle?
Oh god, which one makes it out alive?
This is hard to kill.
Theseus is hard to kill. Almost as hard to kill as Charles.
Give me an order of events as best you can.
I think it would take a while, but eventually, at least Charles and Ollie would be able to figure out a form of charade communication.
Yeah, you managed to open up a line of very rudimentary communication with the little furry raccoon man. You recognize the second one as the unidentified individual from the pictures, who, from context, you could probably guess their name.
I feel like after a bit of frustration of communication would eventually try to make contact.
Would Dick and Theseus just stand there and watch the raccoon man play charades with a college student
From Theseus's, Dick's, and Charles's perspective, how long have they been standing in this place?
For Dick, it doesn't seem like it's been long. Doesn't really get how long, but it hasn't been too long. For Charles, he doesn't subscribe to the hierarchical concept of time. And for Theseus, for Terry, it has been a dreamless sleep.
Worst nightmare.
You don't know how long the sleep has been, but you never know how long the sleeps are. It could be a day, it could be a century.
Terry would be the only one that has any sort of mental tricks or anything, right?
I don't think he's got high enough aspects to read minds.
Yeah.
He could command Oliver if only he could speak.
How do they get out of here?
At this point, much to John and Betsy's surprise, Judas jumps in the portal.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oliver, Judas, up here, maybe 4 or 5 feet above the ground, quote unquote ground, and drop in a superhero pose.
Forget when he's not looking before he gets up, like just get in the spotlight. This guy. I'm not really trying to do damage, just like inconvenience him in the slightest way possible at this point.
You scuff his very fine shoes.
Spit some of this viscous fluid at him.
Your saliva is still glowing vaguely green.
It just floats inexorably slowly towards him.
Taking very little notice of this, he will grab Theseus by the arm and throw him at the location that he jumped out of. Is Theseus resisting this?
Probably not. He's overjoyed to see you. Maybe also a little terrified because of what happened last time he went missing. Terry's not very smart, so I don't know if Terry would put together the 2 and 2 that Ollie's appearance necessarily had something to do with Jude also appearing.
Fair enough. Then yeah, Ollie. You hear a voice in your head. Put your back into this one. You can figure out where the crack is. You can see its outline at this point, and it is closing fast. What do Dick, Ollie, and Charles do?
Ollie will point at where the crack is, and before Ollie can even react, Dick is going to take his full bird form, like the were-raven form, swoop up Ollie under one arm, and torpedo launch towards where he pointed.
Oh, dear God, no.
Just jump as hard as he can.
Making a dive, Dick can tell only one of them's getting through. It is closing too fast. If you try, you'll probably cut both of you in half. You could ditch him and get out, or you can chuck Ollie out.
Would he ditch the boy?
Bird, you're the only one left with an avatar statement.
Oh, dear God, don't go in. Your sisters are still out here. Please send the other one in. Come back out here.
He'll boot the little fucking kid that he's never met before.
Charles, Ollie, and Dick can all hear that coming through the static.
This is Ollie as a or while trying to mouth the word sorry without speaking. Oh wait, I have a beak.
They're unclear who you're addressing. You gotta use names. Betsy and John will see a corpse being thrown out of the portal that then gets up and dusts itself off.